This week on our Tribe Exclusive, we're talking to Namibian R&B singer, songwriter, and performer Waters, whose debut album, Grey, has hearts beating all over the land of the brave. Pump, 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 pump. Plus, we're touching base with Geluk Psychology Services, who are here to tell us all about the creative mind and mental well-being, after the industry has been hit blow after blow by suicides from musicians all across the continent. Do stay tuned for that and so much more with me, Shea Ulenga, this week on The Tribe, exclusive to One Africa TV. Welcome back to The Tribe on One Africa TV. My name is Shea Ulenga, and this week on our Tribe Exclusive, we're talking to Waters. The man came through with his debut album in 2021, 2022. It's still rocking, okay? And he's here to tell us a little bit about his story. And a little later on, we are talking to Geluk Psychology Services as they come and tell us all about the creative mind, mental well-being, and how it is that we as audience can help identify, maybe even just help our own push through a couple of those difficulties. Do stay tuned. We've got so much more coming your way. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Waters and you are watching The Tribe on One Africa TV.
This winter, OK owners are giving back to you by giving away 10K every day. So brighten up your winter and enter by buying any participating product at your local OK store. Simply swipe your count-on card or follow the instructions on your till slip. Also save on Jungle Oats at a low $27.99, Rama spread for bread for just $39.99, and Surf hand washing powder now only $39.99. Only at OK. Owners you can count on.
If you're just joining us, you are making it right on time for our Tribe Exclusive. This summer around, we're talking to a man who just came out of the blue. I tell you, we just heard his voice. Maybe once or twice you check the guy out, and then boom, album out. And then he's just stolen everything that has anything to do with rhythm and blues in the land of the brave. Waters is on The Tribe. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah, I've actually been looking forward to our interview.
Yep.
I think there's just this whole big question mark around you, your musical abilities, and how far it is that you can really take music in the land of the brave. Let's start at the beginning, man. The name.
Well, the name, it clearly just obviously means keep flowing. You know, no matter what comes in your way, you gotta keep flowing no matter what. That's what Waters means. Yeah.
Bruce Lee once said, be still, be like water.
100%.
And underneath all that, there's just so much happening.
Yes.
When do you believe the musical bug bit you? What happened? How did you fall in love with the sound?
Well, I mean, I think it started when I was 14, you know, and I was really intrigued by soul music to start with, in Motown, you know, the Marvin Gayes, the Teddies, you name it.
This is what the parents were playing around the house with.
Yeah. So I would go around and steal my dad's or borrow, whatever. My dad's vinyls. At his record player, and I'll just play anything that I find.
Lovely.
So I grew up on Stevie Wonders and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's where I fell in love with soul music. Right? And I was around 14 years old, and my parents didn't know that I was in love with music, or I am in love with music. And I got myself into choirs without their knowledge, of course.
Behind their backs.
Behind their backs.
Isn't that how everybody's always trying to do it?
Yes, 100%.
Because you're not sure if you're going to get the support that you need?
I think I knew that I wasn't going to get the support I was going to get. I wanted, you understand? I kept it to myself because it was that special, you know, and I wanted to dig deeper and get into it. And the more I got into it, the more I started to fall in love with different genres.
And learning.
You know what I mean? So,
Leave
14.
the children. Let them steal your vinyls. If they're singing in the shower, let them sing. If they want to join the choir, let them. I mean, you just never know what can come up out of it. What do you believe was your breakthrough into the industry? Where do you think Namibians started recognizing that you are actually a force to be reckoned with?
I think it started with the Feelings song by Lioness. That's when I started to get a lot of attention.
We thought, did she go and get a collaboration from Beyond Borders? Who's this Waters person? Right?
Yeah, I think it was that. I mean, I did a few songs, obviously, with Script and KP. My first ever song was recorded at LS Studios, you know, through Script and obviously through KP. But it was definitely that Feeling song. That really, people heard the hook, they heard the chorus, and were like, wow.
Who is this?
Guy, you know what I mean? And then, then a few months later after that, I dropped my first single, Notice. Notice.
And which was building up to the album.
Yes. Actually, no.
Yeah?
I had the EP.
So you were just like released Feelings alongside with Lioness, and then you went into the EP.
No.
Then you went into Notice, and the Notice was from the EP.
No,
Not
it wasn't.
even.
It was just on
so
its own.
it's just a song, a single on its own.
Yes.
Wow.
It was just on its own, and
Okay.
a few months later, into the next year, around Feb, is when I dropped the Two Sides EP. It's called Two Sides.
So wait, so this was just to even test the waters, to see how people would react.
Yes.
If they would feel this.
Yes, and that's when I linked up. That was the first time I linked up with K-Boss, with DJ K-Boss. I wanted to see how we're going to work and what sounds are we going to get into when we do start with the album. So when there's a song called Communication on the album, I'm on the EP. We said, okay, we like this sound. We kind of took R&B and Afrobeat and tried to put them together and hold this whole thing, because I'm not an Afrobeat artist.
Yes.
You understand? But I can do it, obviously.
Challenging yourself,
you know what I'm saying?
being diverse. Yes.
Technically, I do not have an R&B song out, like an actual R&B song.
But you consider yourself to be an R&B
You know,
artist.
because I approach with the
yeah.
R&B energy and soul energy. But the beat, obviously, the beat is, you know, Afro beat and all of that. But the way I approach it is obviously R&B. So, fast forward, October, boom, great album comes out. Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that in our second half. But for now, in case you're also wondering, here's a little Waters on the track.
It's a need, better way you can see, only way you believe me, been always honest, you know this, why it seem like you don't, that's what I wanna know, I'm always honest, you know this, why it seem like you don't, that's what I wanna know. How could you give me something that's gonna fade away? You know I live with problems on the day-to-day, and if you keep on adding to it, you gon' need to stay away. Girl, I'm always on. I like it when you see through. A little tease of what I'm later gon' be too. Yeah, I bet these bitches wanna be you. And if you shy, I get you high, then I'm my fucking V2. Pull up my place tonight. I want my hands on your waist tonight. But it doesn't matter what I want, I know you tweaking. That's why I'm gonna be leaving. Cause I know where you want me to go, but you tell me to leave. But you still want me close enough, close enough. It's a need, better way you can see. Only way you believe me, baby. I'm always honest, you know this. Why it seem like you don't, that's what I wanna know. I'm always honest, you know this. Why it seem like you don't, that's what I wanna know. I used to think it must be love, but I didn't know that I was getting puppy love. Had to deal with you getting petty, it's what it was. Oh, but it's worth all that stress, cause you had me stressed and you how to take it away. You're my peace forever. You stay choosing violence. I love it when you get as naked as the truth you're hiding. Girl, you have me with a sweet talking. You're all I need, but I guess you need. I know where you want me to go, but you tell me to leave, but you still want me close enough. You want me close enough. It's a need, better way you can see, only way you believe me, baby. I'm always honest. Seem like you don't. That's what I wanna know. I'm
Welcome back to The Tribe. If you're just joining us, you're catching up with part 2 of our Tribe exclusive featuring Namibian singer, songwriter, and performer, Waters. Debut album was grey. Tell us about the name. Why did you choose for grey?
It's my favorite color. To be honest, I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. Yeah.
And the feel of the album, what were you going for? What was the thing that you wanted people to take away from it after they listened to your debut album?
I wanted them to be like, wow, this guy is smooth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This
guy is
ace,
smooth.
ace.
Yeah. So I just, I wanted to put a lot of soul, a lot of feeling into it, and just a lot of love, because most of the songs is just love songs.
You don't have a lot of collaborations.
On it?
On this, yeah. You got quite a number of Namibians out there.
Yeah.
But there's also an opportunity to get to know Waters as his own performer. Are you building up to working on another project? And how different are the two going to be?
Very different.
Okay.
Very different. I think everybody in yourself obviously would be surprised.
Okay.
You know, because I am diverse, not to toot my own horn or anything. I am very diverse.
And we're about to see this and experience this.
I want that the next thing that I am working on, is it has to be me. Like fully just me, where I come from and not like my environment or anything, just like mentally and emotionally where I am and where I was and what brought me to this point. So that's what I want to give out into the next project. But for now, obviously, I visuals, trying to work on that as well.
The other thing that we want to find out about here on The Tribe a lot is we're going to talk to artists about challenges that they face. Now, coming out of just doing this talent for your own, growing into a comfortable place where you can start recording, and then boom, album and into the industry. What has been difficult for you? What's been some of the hardest things that you have noticed as an artist stepping into this space that really challenges your craft, sometimes,
Well, I mean, there are times where mentally I'm not able to move forward. I think that's number one for me, my mental health. It's really hard to think straight and to have an optimistic mindset and just in order to move forward and to grow, what you have. Just to help everything.
That's
and
so true.
That's number one. And number two, I think it's financially. Finance is like, you don't really, personally, I don't have like, that extra boost financially just to put out visuals and all of that. And the little thing I can do is have like, little reels on the gram and whatnot, because when people really do approach me and my profile and everything like that, they see like, okay, this guy's trying. But I think financially, that's one of the challenges.
That's one of the challenges,
yeah.
And those are things that you can work on.
100%.
I mean, like, escape, bruh. Yo, if you need to cut loose, bruh, cut loose everything. Switch off your phone, my friend.
It starts with self-awareness.
They'll be looking for you in water. Yes.
Yeah, it starts with self-awareness.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's when you start working on
it. And it's
stuff.
a very good thing that you mentioned that, because I think many times artists forget that they are their own person as well.
100%.
They don't just belong to the world, they can also belong to themselves, And money.
Money is an issue.
Namibia money.
Hey, yo.
Money is there. Money is there. Look on the right, just punch the right shoulder. Okay, anyway, I'm teaching you how to be corrupt. It's not corrupt, but investment is important for Namibian music, right? First and foremost, like, into the future.
Right.
What is it that you contribute and that you feel is unique about you? I mean, there's so many R&B singers out there. So many people love soul, and everybody's also trying to sing it. But what are you bringing that's different, that changes the narrative for Namibian music into our future?
I guess I don't know, actually. To be honest, I have no idea. There's a lot of artists out there, and a lot of brilliant artists that are just great. But what I'm bringing is myself. You understand? And I think that's the best thing I can bring.
Yeah.
Is just being myself.
Yeah.
And just, giving out what I have and what I can be.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
I feel like in the next few years, you're going to be getting a lot of calls from this continent. You're going to be getting a lot of calls from this country.
I receive
people
that.
who want to work with you, people who want to have your sound on their creative crafts. And it's going to happen. You're so talented. And I'm always looking for potential that can go beyond our borders, that can take Namibian cultures and Namibian fields and go and share it with the rest of the world. And I look forward to your work in that regard. So thank you very much, man.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. In case you don't know, now you do. Heading over to social media, Waters.
All platforms, I am Waters.
I am Waters. And keep up to beat. Keep up to beat. He hasn't even released a video yet from the Grey album. I'm sure pretty soon it will be coming out. But in the meantime, here's a little bit more Waters on the Tribe.
Yeah, I knew you in my past life. I knew you were the one, and I guess right. I seen it in your eyes when you look at me. I feel it in my chest when we kiss. Fast forward to our jubilee. You look grown now, fresh cuts, new the clothes on you in your zone, and I think of you and zone now. Imagine that we happen. That other nigga, man, I lost him to the badges. I'm here for the baggage. I'm here waiting on you when you busy tripping on the atlas. I'm right here when you ain't here. I'm here when you got the vision and it ain't clear. I ride for you, baby, fifth gear. You know that. How I love you, man, is cavalier. You know that. I open up the skies, take you on a ride. I'll be your heaven in the human's disguise. Yeah. I'm the safest. Took my broken heart on and you were patient. Rule the issues, you just wanna get a basement. Figure me out. Silhouette, silver lining, you just follow the route. You think I'm pretty when I'm barefaced. You think I'm cute cause I nag when I don't get attention, man, it ain't fair. Getting ways on an estate. You are loyal to your people, that's your best trait, it's innate. I get triggered, mad bitter. When we get the fighting, wanna leave, but I'm no quitter. You hit the last nerve, boy, you know that the transmitters. Blocking out the chit chat, baby, do not matter. My focus on you. Change your lens, I see our future. My old man thinks you are the best suitor. My sister love you for me and she don't love anybody. If I wasn't mortal, I would love you, babe, for centuries. We were meant to be, now we're vibes. I love you effortlessly, I ain't even trying. Your ex hit you up, man, she was wildin'. You twist my heart, baby, make up all the wiring. Oh, you're perfect, I take the risk cause you worth it. Waistline, I'ma work it. Nothing them to say I will hurt you. Waste man, come round me out, put this butty on your face there.
For you, you know I got that feeling for you. You know you're my sweet burrito, my sweet burrito.
Fantastical adventures await on DSTV this June. Get stuck into some pink-tastic artful projects with Pinkalicious and her brother, Pizza-rific. Page through Alice's enchanted cookbook and discover the magic of food, glorious food. And join the world's first family as they come face to snout with the hilarious wonders of modern life. Let your imagination run wild this month with DSTV.
There's no price like the ShopRite price, which means you'll get low prices on everything you need. Like Pasta Grande Spaghetti for only $21.99 and Marathon Fine White Sugar for just $74.99. The ShopRite price, the price you can trust, always.
My name is Cinderlee Koopman from Geluk Psychology Services, where we care about your mental health. You are watching The Tribe on One Africa TV.
Welcome back to The Tribe. Now, a few weeks ago, we were joined on set by Geluk Psychology Services intern psychologist Cinderlee Koopman, who joined us to talk more about creatives and their mental well-being. Take a listen to this. Now, a high suicide rate in the music industry is not unheard of. But as of late, the industry has been hit with heartbreaking suicides as musicians continue to face daunting challenges while navigating through their creative journeys. To give us more insight into some of the mental challenges creatives do face, I'm joined by Cindy Koopman, an intern psychological counselor from Geluk Psychology Services. Cindy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Look, it's so important, I think, that we have this discussion and this conversation, especially of late. We've lost so many profound Namibian musicians as well as from the Southern African region. And I think that audiences and fans are affected, each one in a different way, perhaps depending on how much they love their artists. But it's so much more important to understand what actually happens in the world of this art and this creative journey. So let's start at the very beginning. Tell us about the creative mind itself. Is that very different from an everyday accountant's mind, or how does an artist's mind work?
Good question. You see, everything starts with your mind. And having a creative mind, you're definitely different compared to the person who likes structure. Having a creative mind, you lean more towards flexibility, imagination. You know how to play around with ideas and sounds and words, and that is just based on your mind. Your personality is tied to that. We know of the different types of personalities we have. I'm not going into detail about the names, but you get people who are thinkers, you get people who are inspirers, you get people who are doers, you get the visionary people, and these are all based on how your brain is structured and what stimulates your brain, what your brain, where it flourishes and what areas brings out the best or it doesn't, you know, where you best can be utilized as an individual. And a lot of creative people are divergent thinkers. They like to be creative, as the word says. You're not just going to sit in a bubble, structure. So you love the thrill of ideas
Going
out, you know, that stimulates you as a person. And that is because that is how your mind works.
Let's talk about the challenges, though, the mental and the emotional challenges that one might face in an industry like, for example, the music industry.
And I really want to make it specific to the Namibian industry. I know that we're talking to an audience that's in Namibia. We feel with our artists. We see what our artists are going through, and artists that are listening, you know, within the Namibian society. I think one of the most pressing situations are your job and financial instability.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, how draining can that not be? You're constantly stressed about bills that are piling up. You have that fear of, if I don't get a gig, if I don't get a job, a contract. I think a lot of opportunities are contract based. If the contracts aren't there, how am I going to sustain myself, sustain my family? So that's that constant worry. I think there's a lot of competition within the Namibian society. We know that.
If, for instance, I'm an artist and I'm watching right now and I'm identifying with some of the things you're talking about, or simply me as a person knowing somebody's going through something, where can we contact Geluk Psychology Services in order to help and assist each other in this regard?
I think firstly, you know, if you relate to everything that you and I just discussed too, I think make that conscious decision and tell yourself, I've been noticing these patterns. Let me be brave enough and ask for help. And like we all know, forms of communication, social media is the quickest, easiest, most convenient. Geluk Psychology are on all social media platforms. We have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We have our own website called geluk.com.na. Our Instagram handle is Geluk Psychology. So do give us a follow. We work through DMs as well. We make it as convenient as possible for you. We do have...
As accessible.
As accessible, that's the correct word. Thank you. So please, I think, in terms of where to go, you know, just do your research. Just, you know, try and put yourself out there. Hear what the conversation going. I think the talks around mental health, slowly but surely, it's coming on the rise. So just, you know, put out your ear and just, or do some searching. We are there. Our contact details, should I give our number?
Please give your number.
So we have 2 lines that you can call. The first one is 081 7724 334. Our second line is 0811 278858.
Cinderly, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. I think it was so important for us to at least touch base, even though very lightly, on mental well-being for creatives in an industry such as ours. And you've really highlighted a few important things, such as finances being triggers, simply just even drugs and alcohol being triggers. And thank you for giving us a little insight into what the mental state might be of a creative. I'm sure that there are audience out there who are listening, as well as musicians who have much more questions, and that they will contact you. But thank you for your work, and thank you for being open, man, and just for coming to tell us, Thomas, so thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and just thank you for creating such a platform. It's always a pleasure. You know, we want to help, we want to walk this journey with you, and I think we are open. Just make that decision.
Yeah, guys, just make that decision. Pick up the phone and call. If ever you need someone to talk to, pick up the phone and call. Here is Lady Dinah featuring Adora and Elizabeth on this one called Osalila on the track.
Namibia is a country with great potential. There are many highly successful businesses that put the country on the map internationally. With presenters Darren Smith and Mia de Klerk in Experience Namibia, we will visit several highly successful businesses to show the other side of the country. Not only the beautiful scenery of Namibia, its tourism destinations and wildlife, but also what Namibians do in the business world. Watch Experience Namibia on One Africa TV on the 4th, the 6th and the 8th of July at 7:45 in the evenings, with repeats on the 5th of July at 9:24, the 7th of July at 9:45, and the 11th of July at 7:45. One Africa TV broadcasts on DSTV channel 284, GoTV channel 90, and streams live on www.oneafrica.tv and the channel's various social media pages.
Before we get to sign out, here is your hot drop. Compliments of the land of the brave on the tribe.